Greetings, adult collectors. I am Crash the Customizer. Welcome to another custom Transformers showcase. This is my custom Transformers Prime Bulkhead. And this is the Robots in Disguise Prime Bulkhead. Because I don't have any first edition figures, mostly because I got into Prime after the fact, so I wasn't, of course, able to get first edition. And I honestly prefer the Robots in Disguise versions because first edition figures had some likable qualities, but there are things that I didn't like about them, so I'm honestly glad that these exist. I know a lot of people complain about the little things back here and about the chest. When you put the doors back like this, I mean, it gives him his bulkiness, and the fact that the shoulder pads actually look like they did in the show rather than the first edition being just chunks of the vehicle on the shoulders. But I really love just like look like he's opened his mouth and saying like, hey, how you doing? And I know, of course, this is not in the right place in the robot mode, but honestly, that doesn't bother me. So what I did to this figure is I did paint over the little Autobot symbol here because they're supposed to be just black, nothing on it. I did paint in a little bit of his little inside of his mouth there, so you can kind of see that. I painted over this clear piece with some black, painted over the windshields. I painted just a little bit of that kind of dark green right here. And, of course, I gave him some postable hands. So this is not the standard postable hands I give to my usual figures because Bulkhead's a bigger guy, so I need some bigger fingers. So these are just those little pieces like this. These little clip pieces. And I just put a little bit of glue at the end of this to kind of cover up the holes. And then it's all on one of those 3 bar pieces, and then there's a little piece like this, those clipped in, and then a little 1x stud right like that to kind of give him his kind of bulkier fingers. And then there is one little Lego assembly for his foot, because when I bought this figure, he was missing his actual foot there, so I had to kind of make a Lego one. But so, of course, I also painted some black right here, and I put the Autobot symbol right there, because that just seems a little more, it kind of makes a little more sense. And then, of course, in vehicle mode, that'll be right there as well. Now, bring in some comparisons. So here he is with my custom Transformers Prime Optimus Prime. Here he is with my custom Transformers Prime Ratchet. And here he is with my custom Transformers Animated Bulkhead. And this is actually just the Prime Bulkhead, just painted in some different colors, because the only real differences here is just kind of a darker green. There's a little black detail, some brown here, and then the shoulder pads are just put over these. And then, of course, I did cut just a little bit of his little chin out so it would kind of give him more of that jagged look. But yeah, this is basically just a Prime Bulkhead painted to look like animated Bulkhead. So these are the same figure. And honestly, though I like animated Bulkhead, Prime Bulkhead is probably my favorite Bulkhead design, because I just kind of like just the way they kind of made Bulkhead look in Prime, and then also I kind of like the voice of Bulkhead better in Prime, but it's just my opinion. Now I can give Bulkhead his weapons, so I created this little assembly here. Now this here is a Constructibot piece right here, 2 Lego slope pieces, and then a 2x3 plate. And there's this little peg here that's going to peg into this. So first we need to do here, we need to fold up his hands here. And they're just going to peg this over this little peg right here. And how this little section here works is you can peg in either one of these to create his blaster. So that'll peg right here in the middle section. And then you can also peg in this section here, which is one of those spiky ball Lego pieces. I don't know what they call these. And then a couple Lego green motors. And it pegs this by this little 2x4 plate. This pegs in right here. And give him his signature mace weapon. And of course, I do have two of them, but I somehow lost this other one of these to give him two blasters. I don't know what happened to this. Because granted, I made this like a while back now. I've had this figure for quite some time now. And I really don't know where this ended up. I tried to look for it for the showcase here, and I couldn't find it. So, anyway, so we can just go ahead and flip this thumb up, the section down. His finger fell off. Just peg it on, and then we'll just go ahead and give him the blaster and mace. And then let's go ahead and take that off, and you can see him with two maces. And here he is with animated Bulkhead and his little mace weapon. Of course, the only difference really with this one is, of course, you got the little swinging action. And honestly, I prefer Prime Bulkhead's little mace weapons just because they're kind of like, they don't need to swing around. And that's the only thing I do like about Prime Bulkhead compared to animated Bulkhead, is Prime Bulkhead was a member of the Wreckers, so he was actually an experienced fighter that was more into like hand-to-hand combat, so he didn't need to swing his mace around. He would just go up and just basically just beat them with it. While animated Bulkhead was more of a space bridge engineer that kind of had to learn to fight. So I honestly kind of like the more seasoned kind of warrior Bulkhead compared to animated. So then all we have to do to remove him, just unpeg him. And he tends to like to fall over. Stand up. So peg him, bring down his fingers, bring down the thumb. There we go. The stability issues come down to, of course, the one foot that is not the original foot, but oh well. So now to get Bulkhead into his vehicle mode, what we need to do first is kind of get his shoulder pads out of the way here. So going to open up his chest. Going to lift this section up. Now I did add this little Lego cylinder piece and this little flat round tile there to kind of make this actually like peg in there. I didn't really have a problem with this one with that, because this is actually loose, but this one here was a lot floppier, because like this, I do this, nothing happens, but this one, it's actually a lot looser, because I don't know why that one was, but so I didn't have a problem with, so I didn't do that with the animated one, but I didn't do it with Prime, so I'm gonna peg it from there. And then we got that kind of weird look. He looks like he's just got really fat there for a second. So what we're going to do is we're going to unpeg this whole back section, this little clip right there. Go ahead now and flip in his head. And then we're going to rotate his arms like this. Bring back arms. Go ahead and now clip attachment here, it actually broke on this figure, but it never really mattered anyway. So just like this. And then for his hands here, we have to rotate the thumbs down. And then bring down the fingers. Just like that. And then just tuck all this in. You can actually transform him with his fingers, which to do that I did have to cut a little bit of this section off so it can make it a little flatter in vehicle mode here, and I'll show you that in a second here. So then we take his little shoulder pads, bring them back, and they will become the back section of his window here. Do the same on this side. Then bring back the doors. And then we're going to rotate his legs like this. Flip in his toes. Take this section here. Flip it in. Just like this. And then fold this section back. Fold his leg up. And it will tab in right there. A good click. And then peg that in right here. And then this will go in right there. Click on that side. And there we have Bulkhead in his vehicle mode. So now for some comparisons. But before we do that, I do want to mention on my custom animated Bulkhead, these back sections tend to want to pop off like super easy. And even though this is through the same figure, but I don't have near that much problem with it. Like this one's solid, and then this one just does that. I don't know why that one's looser than the other, but it really has the exact same problem as Ratchet. All this needed was a pin. What is it with Prime figures not having pins? What is with the stupid friction hinges? They don't work. So with that aside, here he is with his animated counterpart here. And granted, like I said, that it's the same figure, just different paint. Of course, you do have this section here actually flip down, and this one here is actually glued in. This just stays like that, but here he is with Optimus, and here he is with Ratchet. And here they are all together, and that looks pretty awesome. Now to get Bulkhead back into his robot mode, first thing we need to do is unpeg his legs from here. And then go ahead and bring them down. So go ahead and flip down his feet. Section down, just kind of line it up with his feet there. And we got that. And honestly, the back of this looks like a frog to me, kind of. I mean, you got eyes, and this looks like a frog mouth. I've always seen that. Anyway, so ribbit. I know I'm a weirdo. Okay, so we'll go ahead and unpeg these sections here. Just unattach it from the door, and then a section right here. Go ahead and flip these up like this. Going ahead and bring this section forward, rotate his legs, and go ahead and peg that into there. Then we're going to take his doors, bring them in front of the chest, and we're going to put them like this just for now. I'm going to get them our way here. We're going to fold the arms back. I'm going to take the sides here and become his shoulder pads, just like this. Head and bring arms down, bring them forward, rotate them here, same on this side, bring it forward, rotate it, and then go ahead and flip up his head by taking this little panel right here, and we'll take this section here, and it will just peg in right there. Fold his shoulder pads up. I just open them up and fold them over the top of the arms. Bring down his arm, or bring down his hands and Bring down his fingers. Bring down the thumbs. And then we take these sections here and just kind of fold them back just a little bit like that. So it gives him his bulky chest. And there we have Bulkhead back into his robot mode. So if you like this video, be sure to check out the description where you'll find a link to all of my future Prime customs. There will also be a link that will take you to all of my legacy animated customs, along with a link that will take you to my stop motion channel, where I'm just currently doing random stop motions. I do want to at some point have a stop motion series on the channel. I'm just still kind of learning about how to make stop motions right, because I don't want to just make a stop motion and just throw it out there and it not be good. So I'm just kind of learning a few tricks here and there and just kind of like taking my time to actually do it right. So be sure to check out that channel. Be sure to like and subscribe to this channel so you don't miss any future customs. Until next time, this is Crash the Customizer out. Bulkhead, Agent Fowler informed me that you ran into another power line. I'm sorry, Optimus. I'm a big bot. I can't help running into the power lines. Besides, what's it matter if I run to them anyway? Because, Bulkhead, power lines supply humans with electricity. One damaged power line can cause countless humans to be without power. And it puts those had to repair it at risk. It cannot allow any humans to be harmed. What can I do about it, Optimus? I'm not the most careful bot. Bulkhead, I needed that. Sorry, Ratchet. See my point, Optimus? It's not like I try to break the power lines. All I suggest, Bulkhead, is you be a little more careful. Perhaps you could try driving under the power lines. Yeah, I never thought about that. That might actually work. Now, if you could just find a way not to break my stuff. I said I'm sorry, Ratchet. Well, sorry doesn't exactly repair this, now does it? You can simply just repair it, Ratchet. Ugh.